Hey everybody, welcome to another HBCU conversation here on HBCU Game Day. We are delighted to have the brand new head coach from Central State University, Bobby Rome, is in the house. Coach Rome, thanks a lot for joining us here at HBCU Game Day. Man, these are unprecedented times. What is life like for you trying to get everything together? You just touched down recently, and now you just can't reach out and touch people like you would expect to as the head coach at Central State.
Definitely. Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for having us and inviting Central State football onto the platform here at HBCU Game Day. It's definitely an honor, and we're very, very thankful. I would say just getting the ball rolling as a head coach here at Central State. I was excited coming into the situation. We got a great opportunity to evaluate the coaching staff, to evaluate the players currently that's here on campus. And, we kind of got going on turning that culture, turning that corner, and trying to get the culture going in the right direction. The kids were excited. They were showing up every day to work out. And, one thing I kind of preach to these guys, throughout the whole process was, adversity is going to come. Adversity is going to strike. I didn't know when it was going to strike. I didn't know adversity was going to strike at this magnitude. But like I told the guys, is how are you going to handle this? How are you going to handle this adversity? It's going to tell me a lot about who you are. It's going to tell me a lot about how serious and how much you value your education here at Central State and how much you value your opportunity here to be a scholarship or a football player on our roster here at Central State. We got the foundation set for it. And like I said, everything happens for a reason. We're kind of siding with the experts here as far as whatever they think is safe, as far as us not going out, as far as not having anybody on campus. We're not the only ones here across the country that have to go through that. Every school in the country has to go through that. So, I feel like whoever adjusts better to the situation and stays positive and continue to work and continue to build towards winning tradition is going to come out on top this season. Unprecedented times call for unprecedented measures. So we just hope that we're up for the task and the challenge here at Central State.
Now, Coach Rome, ironically, you kind of dealt with this. It wasn't quite as big on the national level, but it was huge to you. You were a big-time college football player at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill in the early 2000s. You're the quarterback there. The swine flu is going around, and that hit you personally, right?
Yeah, it did. In 2009, I caught the swine flu, I think how I caught it and contracted it was after a game. I went up to student health directly after the game. My pores were open. We go up there to get an X-ray with the trainer. Went up there, got an X-ray. The next day we came in to watch film. Got up early in the morning. Showed up to the stadium about 6 a.m. And I was feeling terrible. I was feeling terrible. If you could imagine a video fighting game, how your energy level just goes down into the red. Right. I felt like that was me at that moment, sitting in the meeting room. And I went down to my trainer, and he looked at me for like 5 seconds and looked at me and told me, go walk straight through the stadium, walk up the stadium stairs, meaning I couldn't go back through the football facility. I had to go outside and walk up the stadium stairs to student health. And they died. At the time, they didn't tell me. They didn't tell me what they diagnosed me with. They kind of just told me I was sick. They asked me who my roommate was. They went back and basically told him that he couldn't come back to our apartment. They dropped off a box of food, and I found out watching the game Saturday morning, watching my name stroll at the bottom of ESPN saying I had swine flu. So it was a crazy moment. It was I lost 30 pounds in like a week and a half. Like, it was crazy. Wow. And it was unbelievable. I never had anything of such. So, here at Central State, I've been telling guys, before, before everyone started kind of making a big deal about it. I was telling my guys to wash their hands. We're meeting in these team environments. We're together. We're around each other, and we're going out and touching different students around campus. We need to make sure that our hygiene's up, that we're washing our hands, and that we're taking precautions. Because I told my players this story maybe a week and a half ago before they let us out of school. So we just try to be. I guess that's it was kind of a blessing in disguise that I didn't, kind of prepare me for the situation here.
Right, definitely toughened your metal having gone through that. Let's talk a little bit. I got some props here. You can't quite see it, but the people watching can. You have one of the best SIDs in the business, and Nick over there. Nick gave me a hat
hands down.
a long time ago, and man, I won't even wear this thing because Central State has the coldest mascot in the game, the Marauders.
Oh wow,
man, that thing is sweet every time you see it, but that's a lot to live up to because when I think about a Marauder, Coach, I think about, somebody's going to come to town, they're going to take your lunch money, take your girlfriend, it's going to be a street fight, not literally, but symbolically when they show up.
Definitely.
What does it mean, the long history, Coach Billy Joe, man, the things that they were able to do at the height of their powers, you get a chance to try to bring that back. What does that mean to you?
Definitely. To me, it's the honor. First and foremost, it's the honor, just to be coming in behind a coach like Rick Comedy and a Billy Joe. Those two are two legendary coaches in HBCU football. And, I'm just honored that Central State found that I was worthy enough to come in and try to get this thing turned around. I'll tell you, it's exciting. It's a huge challenge, but I feel like me and my staff are up for the task. We have some great student athletes here at Central State. We have some unbelievable fans and alumni that are excited and is ready to see this program back to where it used to be. And, we're working towards that every single day. But honestly, to be totally honest, I think our wins come in developing men. You know what I mean? Developing men first. And my motto is simple, if you can develop a man first, a man's going to take advantage of every opportunity that's put in front of him. That's including playing college football here, valuing the opportunity here at Central State, and valuing the education that Central State is here going to be provided. So we're excited about making sure we stay on path with that, graduating our student athletes, as well as, turning around the tradition on the football field and winning some football games. So it's an exciting time here at Central State.
Now, you coached at UVL before arriving at Central State, and look, a lot of people will put UVL on homecoming. They're like, oh man, we're gonna get a win there, and they're just like the traveling bandits of HBCU football. But I will say this, having watched them, they beat some people, and the games that they didn't win, I'll go back to my analogy, it was a street fight. Talk about the toughness that you were able to implement during your time there.
Well, to be honest, when I first came in, I told the guys, I could go over 44 with any damn body. That's just plain and simple. I can go grab the man off the street and go over 44 with him. I told them, we're going to need guys who are going to do things the right way. We implemented a strength and conditioning program there. We started a foundation that held these guys accountable and made them understand that, we're at the smallest school in the country, but we pack a big punch and we're going to go out there and fight every single day. We've created competition at every single position, and those are some of the things we're trying to bring here at Central State. Those things worked out very well for us at D2. We didn't have the resources, didn't have the scholarships. We had about 250 total students in the school overall. But, we went out there every game. We didn't see ourselves as underdogs every game. We went out there trying to shock the world every day. We wanted people to talk about us. We wanted HBCU game day to talk about us. You know what I mean? We felt like I told guys, we have a lot of first-generation student athletes. So I told them they was overlooked by everybody. They were pretty much overlooked by everybody. And this young university gave them an opportunity. And they deserve to be fought for just like anybody else. And we went out there and we fought, every single game. And that's what we're going to do here at Central State. We're going to compete like hell in the classroom. We're going to compete like hell in the weight room. And we're going to compete like hell on the football field and the practice fields. We want students that want to be here at Central State. We want kids that love to practice and that love to train and love to get better. And I think when you find that kind of combination, it's going to be easy to turn a football program around.
Look, somebody's got to shake up that Western Division, man. It can't be a parade and a cakewalk for Tuskegee and Miles every year. Like, somebody's got to be be a disruptor. Are you ready to be that disruptor?
Well, I would say this, man. Tuskegee and Miles, they have great football tradition there at Tuskegee and Miles. They're great football programs. They have two great football coaches leading their programs that I look up to a lot. But I said we have tradition here, also here at Central State. And like I said, we're just going to come out and try to put our best foot forward. I feel like for the first time in a long time, everybody kind of starts on the same platform. With this virus coming into play, everyone kind of starts on the same platform. Everyone has the same exact amount of time. The resources may not add up for everybody, but at the same time, everyone does have the same amount of time. And I think it's going to be important on how you use that time, how you value that time. And like I said, I feel like our guys will be ready when that time comes to step up and play against a Mount Tuskegee. But first things first, we got a game against Howard University in Canton, Ohio, in the Hall of Fame game. We're excited to have an opportunity to be showcased in front of our fans. In a kind of away home game situation, our student athletes are pumped to be playing in the Hall of Fame stadium, and we just want to make sure we're taking advantage of every opportunity that was presented to us.
Yeah, that is going to be a big game, a big platform. Tell me this, Coach Rome, talking to Coach Bobby Rome, new head coach at Central State University. What is your game plan if football stays on schedule? We know spring practice and that evaluation period is a wash. If we're able to start football fall camp on schedule, how do you have to approach that knowing you've got to implement a system and you still have some evaluation to do?
Well, I think the first thing is making sure that we have that trust, between the student athletes and players. When they're coming back in from a situation like that, we're consistently calling our student athletes. We're checking on them, making sure that they're, first and foremost, that their health is in the right place. Also, making sure they understand, make sure that, we're going to need you this fall, so can't drop the books in the classroom right now. Everything's kind of transitioning online, but we want to make sure that we're taking care of business first in the classroom to get to the fall. Once we do arrive there in the fall, I'm hoping guys are coming in with the mentality that, hey, we haven't won many games here at Central State in the past, so there's going to be a competition at every single position. And like I said, I told guys straight up the morning I went out and was able to go out and recruit, I came in there already dressed up, and I told guys, I'm going out there to find guys to try to replace you guys. And I was very honest with them, because the truth is this: there's going to be competition, and not just on the football field. There's competition in the classroom, because there's kids that went to Central State that came there just to go to school, and they're damn good, they're damn smart, and damn good at what they do. You know what I mean? So when you graduate from Central State, you're going to have to go out there and compete with everybody out there in the world. So let's start this competition right now with things that you love. You love football, you ready to fight your way up the depth chart. We're going to put our best 11 on the field and see what happens.
Coach, you're from Virginia, man, and as you're talking, I'm just imagining you in that Denzel role, like Herman Boone. You just walk in the camp, and it's like, hey, it's a new day here.
Well, like I said, I just want to put my, me and my staff just want to put our fingerprints on the young men as much as possible. I know I'm only as strong as my coaching staff, and I just feel like, right now we have the great combination of guys that can really push our student athletes. And, like I said, we're not going to sit here and cry and complain about, what the virus has done. We're just going to kind of try to move forward and plan ahead, try to get in front of this thing and try to plan ahead and make sure our student athletes are safe, and make sure our student athletes are first taking care of home and being supportive to their other family members, as a man of the household. And second, I'm making sure to take care of the responsibility of the student athlete for Central State.
And speaking of the Virginia connection, you were raised at the knee of HBCU football. Your dad is a Norfolk State grad. You were telling me his PE coach coming up was the legendary Willard Bailey. So even though you played at UNC, you are no stranger at all to HBCU football.
Oh, no. My dad talk about Willard Bailey all the time. My dad looked up to him a lot. Used to go to Norfolk State games all the time. Back when he used to play at ODU at Foreman's Field. So I was there when Norfolk State was in the CIAA. I actually did the games. You got it. Legendary Joe Taylor, 15 minutes across the water over there in Hampton. That, me and my dad used to go check out some of those teams in the early 2000s also. I was just blessed. I was blessed to grow up in the area I grew up in with great athletes, like Michael Vick, Bruce Smith, Ronald Curry, and then legendary coaches like a Joe Taylor and Willard Bailey. So, I was blessed. And I'm just thankful for that opportunity.
Hey, man, you are taking the Tidewater to the heartland.
I'm trying. I'm trying, man. Ty Warner has a lot to be proud of. I'm just trying to make sure I'm one of them. One of those guys they're proud of.
Well, it's going to be an exciting time, man. Of course, we wish the best for the country first. We need to get past this pandemic, but hopefully football will get back on track and seeing some more diversity in the SIAC. Another program to contend with is going to be awesome, and we look forward to following you and see what you're going to be able to do with the Marauders. Coach Bobby Rome, thanks a lot for joining us here at HBCU Game Day, and all the best to you and your staff and your players.
Thank you so much. And if I could say one more thing right quick, I just want, everyone out there, we got a lot of time away from, our jobs and stuff because of this virus and this illness. Take advantage of being around your family. Students that's home from college, take advantage of spending that time with your family and actually value that time that you're with them. After college, I kind of just took off and I didn't have enough, I don't have much time to be around my family like I would love to. And, I'm just telling these young kids, hey, take advantage of that time and value your loved ones. That's all I got to say. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Hey, look, Coach, as soon as we wrap up this interview, I got to get back to homeschooling. So I'm taking your advice as well, man. It's a new dynamic with your loved ones for sure.
Definitely, man. Definitely. You got to take advantage of it. Everything happens for a reason. Just make the best of it.
All right. I'm Tali Carr. He is Bobby Rome, the new head coach at Central State University. And you have been watching HBCU Conversations here on HBCU Game Day.